Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and bois bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. grenadamarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Yes. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today, Monday. Lovely Monday, guys. Lovely Monday. How you guys doing? Welcome to the ride. Welcome to the ride. As you guys come and go ahead and share the program. Share the program, Hillary. Malaika Edwards, big up yourself. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining today, guys. Suzette. Oh, Kia. I see you. Kaya. I see you. Thank you so much, guys. Come in quick, and share because trust me, we have an interesting conversation as always. As always, today we have our guest, attorney at law, Mr. Jerry Edwin. And we're going to be talking about this case involving Mr. Randy John. He was found guilty today of capital murder in the Queenette Johnson case. Jerry Edwin is going to give us some insight on that case and what happened in court, as much as best as he could tell us. But it's interesting because we have been following this case from the beginning. From the jump, we have been following this case. We have been speaking about it. In fact, in 2018, when that story broke, we were actively involved in getting information, disseminating information. The day that Mr. John was caught by the RRU, we were following the case. And, you know, we don't like to leave you guys hanging, right? But what was interesting, guys, that today, after 4 years, after 4 long years, there was finally a verdict. And Jerry Edwin, being, of course, the defense lawyer representing Mr. Randy John, he's here to chat with us. Very controversial case, very controversial guy. Jerry Edwin is here to sum it up all. So as you guys come and go ahead and share up the thing, share it up. Interesting, as I said, very interesting program for you lined up. Before I go on, guys, hold on. I have to share. Hold on. Let me also share, because you know I'm telling you guys to share. I'm telling you guys to share the thing, and I haven't shared the thing. Val, John, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me share, guys. It's always good when you're telling people to do something. You must also take your own advice. So let me do that as well. Okay, properly shared. properly shared. You guys want to know when is the next bingo? You guys had fun? You guys had fun on the last bingo? Yeah, we had fun. We had fun. If you guys did not play our bingo last Friday, man, you missed out. You missed out. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. You know, we did the bingo before, but it's you know, this is the new. This has been the new technology, and you know, we're still getting a little bit used to it. You know, figure out a little bit of glitches in the beginning, but you can rest assured, guys, that at least every month or every 2 months or so, we'll have a money bingo. The next bingo is going to be like around $1,500 to $2,000. Yeah, it's going to be about $1,500 to $2,000. It's money bingo right here and right along. Yes. But before even that, I want to tell you guys that we will be heading to. We're going to be heading to two trips. First, we're going to be in Bahamas next 2 weeks. Then we're going to be in Ghana. And for next year, guys, I want to take you guys along with me because we're going to be heading to Dubai, right? And we already started the promotion for our Dubai trip. We're giving you guys a whole year in advance notice. To get yourself prepared for our Dubai trip. We want to include everyone on this ride. We want to take you guys along with us. Again, that's October of 2023. We are going to be heading to Dubai. Give you guys enough opportunity to save up as well. Now, this is a trip unlike no other, right? It's going to be a really life-changing experience for a lot of people. It's excitement in Dubai. We're going to be having parties and events and boat ride, yacht cruise and bingo, and we're even bringing some artists and DJs in Dubai as well. So rest assured, it's going to be a really fun experience out there in Dubai. All right. So we're gonna we in fact we have the VIP information reservation card that's circulating on the page. Just click on that, put in your information, and we're going to be putting you guys on the priority mailing list. All right. So guys, giving you guys ample notice to prepare yourself for Dubai 2023. I'm waiting to connect back with Jerry Edwin. I just saw like a lost connection with him. So let's just get him back on. Let's just get him back on because his video is stuck. Okay, he's back. All right, there he is. All right. So his video is back, and help me welcome attorney at law, Mr. Jerry Edwin. Jerry, are you able to hear me? No, I'm not able to hear you. Are you muted? Try again. Let me know. All right, so Jerry, go back out quickly and come back in. Yeah. So Jerry's gonna sort out himself. While Jerry's sorting out himself, guys, let me see what's okay. Jerry's back. Let me check him out now. All right, Jerry, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Junior. Good evening again.
Okay, you're there. All right, talk again.
Yes.
All right,
hello,
you're
everyone.
there.
Good.
Wow. Jerry Edwin, my friend, attorney at law.
Brother?
Good. It's always nice having these conversations with you, Jerry, because I get to learn about the law a bit. You know, I get to learn about the your field of work. I don't know. We lost Jerry again. Jerry, are you there? We lost Jerry again. Jerry's obviously having some internet issues. Jerry, are you there? Let me tell you something. Let's Jerry, let me make sure Jerry walk out the thing here because I have some. It's going to be a tough conversation. All right, Jerry, I have a feeling that your internet company is not treating you too well today.
Yeah, we've been having some issues with our service here for the past week or so.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't
Hopefully,
disturb your program too much.
hopefully not. If you keep cutting off like that, just come back in and then so we could resume the
Okay.
conversation. All right.
Okay.
Right. So Jerry, how you been? How you been, man? Today was a big day for you. So,
Yeah,
how you been?
this job is not for the faint of heart, Brother Junior.
I know you.
You're not. It's not a. You can't make facts. You could fight for your client, but in terms of creating facts, so you can make a new story up for a jury.
Okay,
That's
hold on,
just
Jerry.
in
Hold
the
on, Jerry. Take off your headphone. Take off the headphone. Unplug the headphone because the audio. Jerry, unplug your headphone because I think the audio is messing up. We're not hearing you too good. So unplug it. Maybe it's gonna work better without the headphone.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, probably gonna work better without the headphone. I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Let's try it this way.
All right.
All right. You there now again?
Yeah, I was saying, yes. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Nah, I think the connection is messing up. So option C, I always have option A, B, and C. Yeah. Option C. Let me call you on the WhatsApp. Let's do it that way.
Sure, I'm going to option. Can you hear me now?
Not really. It don't sound good. Unless you want to connect with your phone, that might be better as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because that connection
Let me try that.
is not sounding good. Yeah. Jerry ain't getting away today. Let's put it like that. Jerry is not getting away today. If you can't join us via video, we go take him via audio. We go hear this story today. Rest assured. Give you guys more time to share, right? Give you guys more time to share up the thing. Whether by audio or video, however, we go get that story here tonight. Okay? Yeah, don't worry. Rest assured, guys. We got you. I got you. All right, let's try this one now. All right, Jerry, you there?
Yeah. I am, yes.
Oh, wow. That song's a whole heaping set. Whole lot better. Right. So Jerry, interesting day for you today. After 4 years, you found out that your client was guilty, which means that it's either you present the evidence that was stacked up against you, just couldn't, unsurmountable amount of evidence. I don't know what happened, but anyway, Jerry, tell us about the case. Tell us about this case and how did you get attached to this particular case? Because I thought that the evidence was mounting and so high to overcome, but you took it anyway. Tell us about this case involving Mr. John.
Let me tell you this of the case.
Mm-hmm.
On the evening of 18th, 2018, prosecution case is that young Randy John, he was 20 years old at the time, left his home in La Femme. That's a hamlet, one of the smaller villages of Pedmata in St. David's. And he intended to go to see his girlfriend. But he couldn't reach his girlfriend. So he went to Labarie's Gap, Paul's Gap. And there he I shouldn't say a lift. He actually hired a bus driver to take him to Bolio to see a friend of his named Queenette Johnson. Queenette was 17 at the time. 17.
Okay.
A girl who was full of life from all accounts, just a nice young lady. She came into the bus with Randy. It was just Randy and a bus driver. She came into the bus and back to La Femme with Randy John in the bus. Now, that his music was turned up loud in the bus. It was after midnight. Yes, a little after midnight. The music was turned here. What he perceived was an argument. Randy and Queenette. But he did not know what the... Now, as I said, Queenette voluntarily got and on the way back to La Femme, the bus driver, what he perceived was an argument. The bus driver to La Femme, Queenette want to alight from the bus. She did not want to get out of the bus. In fact, she implored the bus drivers, take me back home. How much would it cost for you to drive me back home? At the same time, Randy pulling Queenette out of the bus. And Queenette refusing to leave the bus. At one point, that Randy was pulling Queenette by her leg, to get her out of the bus. This was corroborated by a whose window was open. Just a short, not even 50 yards from where the bus had stopped to drop off Randy. The old man says that he heard the commotion. And when he looked out his window, he saw Randy pulling Queenette by her leg, her foot, from the bus. The child, the girl saying to Randy, "Oh, let me go." Andy, according to the old man, overpowered her, took her arm, and was pulling her behind in the road toward Randy's village of La Femme. For a minute here. And, you know, hindsight is 20. And
Jerry, stick a pin right there. Stick a pin right there. I want to let me call you on WhatsApp because the audio is still giving me a little bit of a problem. So hang up. Let me call you on WhatsApp because we're not hearing you too clear. So hang up. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me call Jerry on WhatsApp so the audio is going to be much more clearer. Right. Let me do that right now. That's why it's always good to have plan A, B, C, and D, guys. Yeah, have all the plans. Let's sort that out. Yeah, a lot to digest, guys. A whole lot to digest. All right. Jerry, are you there?
Okay, can you hear me now?
All right, Jerry, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. 1,000 times better, Jerry. All right, so let's start back at the point where he.
Yes, where Randy is pulling the girl behind him.
Right. Yes.
Randy is pulling Queenette behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And the old man in the house nearby looks out his window and he observes this commotion.
Right.
The old man says, I recognize Randy because he's from the village. And I recognize too that this is a girl I had seen him with before.
Right.
As I said, hindsight is 20/20. And it is perhaps a signal lesson for those of us who believe we are not our brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Junior, bus drivers in Grenada are some of the most trustworthy people I know, more trustworthy than public servants.
Right.
I say so without apology. You give them your 5-year-old child. You tell them, drop your child to school. They will stop traffic. They will step into the middle of the road and ensure that your baby child going to primary school or kindergarten can safely cross the street.
Mm-hmm.
They will take money from you. You can give it to them in an envelope. They will not open your envelope. You'll tell them where to drop it. And these are couriers. Our local FedEx, our trusted, uninsured, but reliable couriers are our bus drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Elderly people can tell a bus driver, drop me around the corner. I have too many bags.
Mm-hmm.
Young man, can you drop me up the hill? And without a murmur, the bus driver will accede. Why didn't the bus driver say to this child or to Randy, you can't do that to that child. She doesn't want to come with you. I'm taking her back home. I am not faulting the bus driver. I'm saying under circumstances that were different,
Mm-hmm.
this child could have been alive. Nonetheless, the facts are that Randy pulled Queenette behind him. He told the police that he had been drinking all day long. And that is factual. It was actually corroborated by a storekeeper,
Okay.
a shop owner, who said that Randy had been there all evening drinking. He drank over 20 beers, he said. By midnight, he's walking along the road with Queenette, pulling her behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Randy says he does not remember pulling Queenette from the bus, 1, or 2, dragging her behind him, pulling her behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Although non-interested third parties, eyewitnesses saw him doing that. The young man is adamant.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Edwin, I will tell you if I did that. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
This says something about the power of alcohol. So Randy walks down the road with Queenette. He throws up from drinking so much alcohol. She waits for him, he says. And then they go into a building that Randy knows is vacant. It's not an abandoned house. It's a house pretty good shape. But Randy knows the house because it's close to where he lives. And he says he's going there because Queenette had asked him if he wanted to have sex with her.
Okay.
And ostensibly, they were going to the house for that purpose. So far, no harm, no foul.
So far.
But now,
Uh-huh.
now the story to the jury has become incredible, because Randy says Queenette suddenly fell. She hits her head. He picks her up, put her sit down against the wall of the house.
Was that after doing or before they had sex?
He said they never had sex.
Okay. So
He
somehow
said they never got.
She fell somewhere between before they did anything, and she hit her head.
Right. And he picks her up to prop her body up to make her sit properly. And he goes to the pipe stand in order to get some water to revive her.
Uh-huh.
The pipe, he says, has no water.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening, so Jerry. I'm listening. I'm listening. I have another question.
You see, this is these facts are difficult.
It is.
They are difficult. They are difficult for their veracity, because Randy says Queenette was left sitting there, and Randy, went home.
Okay.
The prosecutor asked him, the prosecutor posited to the jury, I should say, because he did not testify.
Mm-hmm.
He has the right to remain silent. There's no adverse inference that could be drawn whenever a criminal defendant decides to say nothing. Because in our system, same thing in North America, in the Caribbean, in the Commonwealth, and in all common law jurisdictions, you have no obligation to say anything, because the prosecutor is the one who brought you before the court. Let them prove their case.
Right.
So Randy says nothing during this trial. In a criminal trial, one has three choices.
Mm-hmm.
You could stand there and say nothing. You could stand where you are in the dock and give an unsworn statement. You can say what happened. Nobody can question you. I cannot question you.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor cannot question you.
But
you just say your version.
Jerry, let me just say this. Oh gosh. Jerry, can I couple stories that
I haven't gotten to the good part. Junior,
go ahead.
Let me round up this story.
Round it up, Jerry. Round it up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Randy could have taken the stand, where he swears to tell the truth. I will directly examine him. The prosecutor could cross-examine him. And the jury could ask him questions as well. In this case, Randy decided to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he left Queenette sitting there, and he went home.
Okay.
And six days later, her partially decomposed body is found in a storage area underneath the house. Her panties, one of pulled down partially, and her clothes are raised up. Her blouse is raised up her body. There is not sufficient evidence for the pathologist to determine whether she had been sexually violated, raped, whether she had sex.
Right.
Couldn't tell.
Because the body was so badly decomposed.
The only thing we could tell, too badly decomposed. The only thing that the pathologist could discern
is that she died from asphyxia, meaning insufficient oxygen to the lung, leading the pathologist to conclude
she was strangled.
That young Queenette had been strangled. Yes, sir. At the close of and there were a number of witnesses, police, doctors, and so forth. The driver of the bus, the old gentleman, as I mentioned. And we did not call any witnesses in this case. I was not provided with any information to give the jury a further explanation of what occurred on October 18th, 2018, more than what Mr. John told the police.
Right.
Today, the judge summed up the case and gave it to the jury. I always like to tell listeners and the lay public that in every criminal trial where there's a jury, there are two judges. Juries are judges of the facts. They determine what is credible, what is not, who to believe, who not to believe. And then the judge is the judge of the law.
Right.
So once the judge, Justice Guilford, summed up the law, she gave the case to the jury for them to determine whether Randy was guilty under the indictment. It was a single count indictment of capital murder. For those of you in America, it means that the accused person committed intentionally an act that caused the death of the victim, and in addition, committed a felony. The prosecutor's case is that that felony was rape as a result of the way in which Queenette's clothes were found. The jury took 30 minutes and then they came back guilty under the indictment. We will, on the 20th of December, have a sentencing hearing. And my job at that time is to plead mercy for someone who was 20 years old.
Plead mercy. Plead mercy, you said?
Plead mercy.
Oh, okay.
I told you my job.
Huh? Yeah.
Is to plead mercy for Randy John. Because the court can give him a life sentence. A life sentence.
All right.
And so my job is to plead mercy and present any mitigating evidence that I have, so that at some point in the rest of this young man's life, he has an opportunity to come to terms with what the jury said he did, and to be an example, maybe lead a better life. But undoubtedly, he will receive a custodial sentence for a considerable amount of time. That is the precedent that the court will follow, as it has over the decades when capital murder cases are heard and when the accused is convicted. Used to be, we had the death penalty. But it has been some time since we have enforced the death penalty in Grenada. So a sentence of life is usually the sentence that replaces the death sentence.
Right. Okay. So Jerry, thank you. Let me ask some questions now. At what point?
Yes, sir.
When he was giving you that Nancy story, did he say, riddle me this, riddle me that? It was a joke, but still, Jerry, when your client told you this, did you ask him that he should probably plead guilty? Because this story don't make no sense to me.
Absolutely.
This story don't make no sense to me.
I will tell you that the offer, I can't say what my client told me. you would understand that.
Right, I understand that.
But I would say that the prosecutor had offered non-capital murder right up until the moment that this case was given to the jury. But Mr. John did not accept that offer, decided to plead guilty, and justice was served through the verdict of the jury. There are some accused persons, Brother Junior. There's some accused persons who want to hear it from the jury, yeah?
Right. Yeah. Okay, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yes, the young man was the last person to be seen with this young lady. You telling me that he went into a basement or building, abandoned building with her, she knocked her head, and he sat her up and he left her there. He didn't come back and check. He didn't call her the next day. He didn't inquire for 6 days. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I think this was the calculus that the jury relied on. They reasonably took a position that I think, and again, I'm a realist, brother.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a realist. And I gave my client certain advice, which he did not take. And the credibility with his version of the story was a gaping hole you could drive 6 Mack trucks through. Yeah?
Yeah.
And so your conclusion, I think, mirrored that of the jury. As I said, lawyers can't make up facts. People think that, I think only in fiction, people think that lawyers can come into the courthouse and create a brand new set of facts. We had a professional, a 15-year professional investigator, Corporal Frank, of the St. David's Police, of CID, he's attached to CID in St. David's. We had forensic experts. Together, I think they must have about 20 years experience. They put on the booties on the bottom of their shoe. They took photographs, they did measurements. But clearly the most damning thing in this case is what you have just narrated. Explain your decision to not call the next day or go back the next morning to see about the welfare of this child. And Mr. John said he was afraid.
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? What was he afraid of?
The source of his fear still remains a mystery.
Right. So, Jerry, you had to stand there as a reasonable thinking individual, because I think you're a reasonable thinking guy, and present that. You actually presented that information to the jury.
You see why
with a straight face?
when people you have to understand the job of the lawyer, huh?
Yes, I understand.
The lawyer takes instructions.
Yes.
The lawyer gives the client, when the lawyer sees the facts, he says to the client, the sky is blue. The client says, no, it's red. The client says, okay, I want you to know that the 12 people on the jury will agree that the sky is blue. And the client says, I don't care. I want you to tell them my position is the sky is red. It is the nature of the work, Junior. It's the nature of this work. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And you should know, here is the thing, a person's rights, and this is the thing, not many people would defend Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the lady who goes to the parade. Her son is marching out of step with the entire platoon. And she turns to her friend and says, look at my son. He is the only one who can march properly. Those other boys are out of step. Right? And her son is marching like right. Everybody's marching properly, right, left, right. But, my friend, the job of the lawyer is to ensure that the legal rights of a person who is accused remain intact from the time of the arrest, interrogation, trial, conviction, incarceration. Those human rights never leave the individual. We live in a civilized society in which you are held accountable for what you have done. And the jury has held Randy accountable based on the evidence before them. Our job is to ensure that Randy's legal rights remain with him, whether he's a free person or whether he's at the Richmond Hill prison. Right. He still has rights. He still has rights.
Another thing that you said, Jerry, which would cause a laid person to pause a bit, is that knowing all that you know, knowing all the evidence that was presented, I'm sure that you saw the gruesomeness of the photos that was taken out, the partially decomposed body of young Queenette. And I mean, I know the family watching this and they're sad all over again because they're reliving those moments.
Of course. Of course.
You have all these facts. However, during sentencing, you would stand in front of a court and plead for mercy. Mercy for what?
Yeah. Yes. There are persons here who, in your audience, who would claim, for example, to be Christians.
Right.
Yes? Right. Our societies are Judeo-Christian societies, yes?
Yes. We
do not follow the Islamic Quranic law, which says that if in some cases, if you steal, you would lose a limb. If you commit adultery, you will be stoned. And if you kill, you will be killed as well. Well, we cannot have the book on Sundays or Saturdays that has captivated our people since we were enslaved and say that Jesus died for everybody except the ones that the jury convict. Yeah?
Right.
So it's a tenet of our belief system, our legal system.
Right.
The rules of civilization that says not an eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth, but justice for all. And justice comes from the court, a court of law, and in the criminal jurisdiction of that court, when a jury says, you, the accused, based on the evidence we have sat and listened to for 9 days, actually committed the offense that the prosecutor says that you have. We still have to plead for mercy.
Right. I get it that
still have to plead for mercy.
It's somehow a part of the job. But let me ask you this, Jerry. If Randy, right, plead for mercy as is in your responsibility as your job description, and you know that you could present some information that he will get the mercy, And in getting that mercy, he will then be placed in a neighborhood where you reside with your kids and family. Would you still plead for mercy and ask them that he get as minimal time as possible so he could be released in your neighborhood or community?
Well, luckily, the law does not work that way.
Okay.
In the law, we look at prior sentences for a similar offense, given the profile of the convicted man.
Right.
There is no proof. There's no proof that he has any mental infirmity.
Mm-hmm.
He is on all fours. He's a rational thinking person. So the court will determine that he is fit mentally to receive his sentence. I cannot place my own feelings,
right,
whatever those feelings are, ahead of the job. It is that kind of profession.
Yes.
Because I know that without the license to practice law, that I would likely be part of the mob. Yes, but it is the system as it is. It's not a perfect system, but there are principles of sentencing, retribution, deterrence, punishment that the court can look at. Rehabilitation that the court can look at, that the court has as precedent. If it's deterrence or deterrence, if it's deterrence and punishment, then the sentence falls into a certain category, and the convicted man falls into a deep custodial chasm from which he will likely not emerge until much later in his life.
So in a nutshell, you say that you cannot, it's not about emotion. It's nothing to do with emotion. It's about the process.
Nothing at all.
It's just the process.
It is the process. And the judge always reminds, we lawyers, the prosecutor and defense counsel always reminds the jury that this is not about sympathy. You don't get justice through sympathy.
Right. But let's
justice by looking coldly at the facts. And let me say that the prosecutor in this case, Senior Crown Counsel, SCC Howard Pinnock, did not agree with me not to show the jury images of the decomposed body.
Because you thought it would prejudice, the case. And once someone
that. And it's like, of course, you take a look at that and, we do a balance. There's a balance in the criminal law and also in the civil law when you weigh evidence, that you really want to look at the probative value. How important is this piece of evidence to the case once it passes the threshold of relevance and all that, right? You look at the probative value and you weigh that probative value against any prejudice it could cause the defendant. And if it weighs too heavily down on the prejudice side, the court would exclude it. But we didn't have to get to that point because I think the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution knew that the evidence was overwhelming and that any 12 persons who are the peers of Randy John, having heard his version of the story, would react in the same way that you just did.
Yeah.
And I can't see the reaction of your listeners, but I'm sure it's the same way.
Yeah.
All of them would.
They're shocked. They're disgusted. They're asking a lot of questions. I can't take a call right now while you're on the line because I'm using the phone, but I will after. Jerry, I would be interested to find out your closing arguments in this case. What was your closing arguments?
I told the jury that there was no evidence that Randy raped the girl.
So you was just trying to get the capital murder off. You just trying to get him for non-capital. You wasn't saying that he didn't kill her or didn't do what was the evidence is overwhelming about. You was just trying to get him for non-capital. Because of course, it was hard to prove that he actually raped her because the body was so badly decomposed.
In fact, I think on appeal, an appellate panel might agree with that, that the conclusion with respect to the felony, the rape, that ratcheted the case up to capital murder is a difficult one. Mm-hmm. Because as the senior Crown Counsel pointed out correctly, the case was a circumstantial case. Mm-hmm. There was no evidence. You just had to surmise and use your reasonable thinking to come to the conclusion that there is something amiss, that none of us would go somewhere with a friend, regardless of the reason, see that friend in peril, and then be mindless.
Yes.
Don't care about that friend. I mean, the person doesn't even have to be a friend. It could just be someone that you see. You see, Grenadians, our culture is such, we value life here in Grenada. If Jesus Christ were to come today, but there's a funeral at the Catholic Church, mm-hmm. He has to wait. He has to wait mm-hmm. for that funeral to be over. We value life here in Grenada. People take time off their work.
Right.
They go to their wedding, to their funeral. It's a priority for them. And so they treat you have to have a very good reason as to why, if charged with taking a person's life, you have actually done that. The case for self-defense or accidental death has to be a very strong case here in Grenada for a jury to agree that the loss of that person's life was reasonable in the circumstances. So what I told the jury was that there is no evidence of rape. There were some disparities in the evidence that I pointed out to them, but they didn't buy my story.
Well, there was no physical, and I agree with you to an extent. There was no hard evidence of rape. The circumstances of that was that she died and her body was beginning to decompose. But why else would a dead person's underwear be half down her knees? Why else would a deceased person shirt be or top part be exposed? Just looking at it from a very layman perspective, the dead person didn't do it to themselves, obviously. And if you are the last person, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, there are no qualifications to be on a jury.
Right.
You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have a master's degree. All you have to have is that thing between your ears mm-hmm. working.
Right.
You have to be of a minimum age and no older than 60. So you have a whole wealth of life experience in front of you to discern sense from nonsense.
Right. Exactly.
You can tell which story is correct and which is not. let me tell you, when the DPP's office charges you with an offense, they don't do so lightly. That's why the acquittal of a person on criminal charges, regardless of what those charges are, is such an important thing. And this is why whenever I am involved in a case and a person is acquitted, particularly of a sexual offense, that I want to make sure the world is aware of it.
Yes.
Because all we know is that the person was arrested, paraded before the media, and that's all we know.
Yes.
But the truth is, this case involving young Queenette Johnson is the case lasted 10 days. I don't think I got 10 good nights of sleep.
I could imagine. I could imagine, Jerry, because after a while, I mean, and that's your job, but after a while, stuff like that come back to haunt you, like losing of sleep and stress and all of that stuff. I could understand, and hence the reason why. Listen, that's your job. Respect you for what you do, but it's something I could never do because I mean, although you are in a position to represent the person, I think that you're also in a position to give them good, sound, common sense advice. And
sometimes they don't take it.
And sometimes they don't take it, but then you have a choice, right? You have a choice. You have a reputation, right? You have a character. And
no, I don't see it as that, you know. I really don't see it as that. Because as I said, you could be a mass murderer, Jack the Ripper. You killed 200 people lined up against a wall and shoot them down.
Right.
Many people would not defend them. Many persons would not defend them. But the law says everyone
is entitled.
Is entitled.
Yeah.
And it has fallen to a few of us, Mr. Sylvester, Mr. Paul, Mr. Clouden, of course, the Dean of the Criminal Bar, Mr. Ferguson. These are outstanding lawyers, and I'm so happy to be in their company. Even though I have just recently come into this jurisdiction, now just 7 years.
Right.
I am pleased to be in their company, but there are over 105 lawyers, I believe, in Grenada. And actively, there are only 7 of us at the criminal bar.
Yeah.
Mr. Gill, Mr. Sylvester, Mr. Ferguson, 7 or 8 of us active at any time. So it's someone has to do this, and one may disparage lawyers, especially those of us at the criminal bar, for defending guilty people, or some people say that we do this for money, all sorts of things. I can't tell you how many of our clients are poor. In fact, this is the feature of the criminal bar that has attracted me to it. It is the extent to which the prisons, and that's prisons everywhere, are overwhelmingly habitated by the children of the poor. Yes?
Yeah.
If you are a wealthy person, you have resources, well, you know, it is rare that your child ends up in jail.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying that wealthy people do not commit crimes. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But one has to have a level of compassion, a kind of, shall I say, coldness, and a responsibility to stand up for the persons in society that are considered pariahs, who everybody hates.
Right.
We have that subset of persons in every society. Every society. I mentioned Mr. Gill, Mr. Clouden, Dr. Alexis, Mr. Paul, Mr. Thomas, and so on. This is our responsibility.
Yeah.
If we don't do it, if we do not stand and represent the Randy Johns of this world, what will happen when Junior George does something that shocks the conscience? Who will stand up for Junior?
Don't put it on me, Jerry. I'm a good guy.
Okay, all right. I'll
put it on.
I'll
Let me see who is not that reputable. I am
Mosquito
good.
Man.
Mosquito Man.
Man.
Yes. Let's put it on Mosquito Man.
I like that name. That's why I chose it. Don't take it personally, Mosquito Man. We're just joking.
Yeah, but no, seriously, Jerry, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, right? We believe that Jerry Edwin is doing his job. That is his job. Every person convicted of a crime is entitled to representation. And Jerry Edwin, Clouden, a few other lawyers that he named, that's what they do. They represent. And oftentimes, some of these attorneys don't even get paid at the end of the day. So it's not like they're always doing it for the money, but it's the conscience that would haunt me. That's something I could never do. And that's a conscious decision and a choice you make to get to be a defense attorney. Because even Sylvester, he don't do defense. He don't defend criminals anymore. It's a decision that you make at the end of the day, right? It's a conscious decision. But we can't be mad at you because that's your job. That's what you signed up for, to defend criminals and thieves and rapists.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, after I served in the U.S. military.
Yeah. All right, Jerry. Well, listen, I hope when this young man, Randy John, when he goes to prison, he doesn't have a soft skull.
Touche.
Let's hope.
He has actually been on remand for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Since when he was first arrested, his bail, there was no one to take his bail. I ultimately got the bail down from $100,000 to $40,000, but there was still no one in his family to take his bail. So his sentence will run from the time he was arrested in 2018 on remand up, which is 4 years. So that would be added to the sentence he will receive
right
now.
What is the sentencing guideline for capital murder?
Yes, the guidelines are, we have sentencing guidelines for bodily harm cases. And the precedent in this case is that the sentence likely will begin somewhere around 35 years, 35 or 40 years. 35
or 40 years to life.
Yes, 30 years life. It's the mother. I will forever remember this mother, understand. A frail lady, quiet.
Mm-hmm.
She works in construction.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her 40s, and she tried to hold it together, understand, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she couldn't for very long, but
yeah,
human beings, we do things that Ricardo Edgar's trial for murder comes up in the next few days, and we will be defending that case. And following that, the murder involving allegations against Mitch Phillip from Victoria will follow that one. So we'll be in the High Court on these matters for quite some time. But I pray that Miss Johnson, Queenette's mother, has found peace. That for Randy's mother, she too can put this behind her, that Randy, even though he will certainly receive a long sentence from the court, custodial sentence, that he will put his talents to good use and be productive, because, you know, the prison has many opportunities. Young men, women get to improve themselves, educate themselves, learn a skill, mentor young people coming in, and by and large, still live a good life. Because there are still rules. The prison is not an uncivilized place. It is not an uncivilized place. So there are rules, there are opportunities, and we can only trust that Randy will spend his term, when the judge decides the sentence on the 20th of December, in a productive manner. And I anticipate that he will make a statement, and I will urge him to make a statement to the court, if only to bring complete closure.
Yes.
To Queenette's mother and father, because it's one thing for a jury to speak, but I would urge my client in this case to help the parents get complete closure on the sad loss of their mother. Yeah.
I agree. At least that. I think, because I mean, nothing at this point would bring back young Queenette. And there's a lot that we could, in retrospect, as you said, that we could look and say it should have been done differently. From the bus driver, I think, not looking at it from a community perspective, because if my daughter or my son or any one of my family was someone being hurt, I would like and appreciate if someone that is present to at least butt in and help out. So in retrospect, it takes a community, and that community spirit wasn't there. And I said in a vlog earlier, if he did something, if he intervened, probably right now we would not have been having this discussion and referring to her in the past tense.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. To live through the loss of life is clearly a difficult part of the work that but I'm sure anyone who is listening here, if they are caught in the same circumstance of penal jeopardy, they will want to ensure that some lawyer, some attorney can represent their case. Hopefully it's better circumstances, more credible reasons for their involvement than we had in this case. But that's, as we say, that's the nature of it. And I trust young Queenette will rest in peace, and her parents will have some solace.
Yes.
Justice has been done in this case.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you in a few again, because you have a few high-profile case that we'll be interested in getting updates on. So thank you, Jerry. We appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, Junior. Good night.
Good night. All right, guys. So the phone lines are cleared up, and let's get your perspective on this, guys. You heard Attorney Jerry Edwin presentation of what was said in court. Talk to me now. Let me know what you guys think about this whole incident and this whole case and what transpired, what you heard here today. Let's go to the phone lines right now. And take this on. Caller, you live? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Junior. What's up?
Yeah, I'm good. I saw you was calling earlier, but I just couldn't take the call because Jerry Edwin was on the other line, on the same line. You are a family member of Queenette, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Are you satisfied? First of all, tell us about how is your family doing after hearing the verdict today?
It's yes, you get the result that you wanted in terms of him being found guilty.
Right.
But for people who have lost a loved one, it's never. There's nothing that could comfort you. There's nothing that can give you peace. Sorry, right? That's as much words people can usher to you. You would never find peace. Right. For my mom, who I know is on here, my brother who's on here as well, looking on. I don't think my sister will, because she has been a wreck ever since.
Yes.
My younger sister. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. Now, the reason I called is not to go at Jerry. Some may say, oh, you can turn it down. At the end of the day, the harsh reality is he has a job to do.
Yes.
My problem is the justice system, one, and two, our neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was brought up by two strong parents who taught me how to be a man, how to look after the people around me. Right. And that has brought me to this point in my life where I would never walk by and hear a female struggling. I don't care if it matters my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would never walk by and just mind my business. When I first came to England, I was walking on the road and I just told a woman good morning, and she clenched her purse up under her arm.
Mm-hmm.
You sit on the bus, you sit on the train. I sat on the train one time and a woman got stuck in the door, and everyone is just there minding their business.
Mm-hmm.
And I got up to help her, end up dirtying my clothes and all. And I'm saying all of this to say, in my community of Bolio, and I have to give people in my community the praise, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those listening here, I want to tell every one of them, thank you for supporting my parents, supporting my family, right? Giving the strength that even my mom needed. Yeah. This is something that we need to. Don't have to be blood to be related.
Are you there, CJ? All right, we sort of lost him there. Let's see if we could get him back. That's a family member there. And you could imagine, guys, that the family that's watching actually reliving those moments again, because it's been 4 years, but today being the verdict in this case, and the emotions just come back like if it happened yesterday. It's ripe as if it happened yesterday. And so we understand the emotion that the families are going through at this point in time. All right, CJ, you back with us? Hello? All right, let's see if I could fix that internet issues right here, so we can get back CJ on. Yeah. All right, CJ, hold on. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, we was having a bit of an internet connection issues. Yeah.
So, I'm not going to go at Jerry. He has his job to do. The judicial system, it doesn't have to take 4 years. 4 years, no, to get to this stage. 4 years of turmoil, 4 years of sleepless nights. Yeah. Me living in the UK, had to wake up 2-3 o'clock in the morning with a phone call stating what happened. Right. Since after that, whenever my parents call me, or my siblings or any one of them call me, a bit of me just goes straight back to that, wondering what is it now? Is something wrong? Like,
right.
And you have to wait 4 years for such type of for this to happen now, for this procedure to go through now. It's long.
Yeah.
Right. The people in hierarchy who has the power to make these changes. One, you need to enforce the police with the proper help and necessities to get the job done quickly, right? Our judicial system is in tatters. It's absolute rubbish. Hearts out to the professionals who are trying their best. But if it's not structured properly, then other families who are sitting here listening to me now are saying, boy, I wonder when is my time to get justice. Look at that young lady, the twin or the triplet who lost her life a couple years ago when I was in Grenada. Only recently they convicted the guy. And a mother, a sister, they have to go through that. And that is not good at all. People's mental health is in danger.
Yes.
Yeah, and people, they don't take this mental health thing seriously in Grenada, to be honest, because, you know, growing up, you see somebody with mental issues, you thought, oh, they are a madman. That's a madman. That's a mad woman.
Yeah.
Mental health is something serious. It's affecting my sister.
At the end of the
At
the end of the day, I'm sure that the family would endorse the fact that they're at least happy that they got a guilty verdict. So at least that part worked in the way that the family wanted. So, but your concern and the family concern is that it took this long, right? And that's understandable. And I know that there are so many cases in the pipeline that people are calling me and say, what about this case? We need, you know, there are so many cases that are backed up in the system. There are so many cases backed up in the system, and it just, people feel like they're not getting justice because it's taking them so long. Sexually related case, murders, and it's overwhelming. But at least today, you could say that, okay, the justice system at least got it right in terms of the verdict that was handed down today. He was found guilty. The prosecution pushed a hard case. I mean, I believe that it wasn't a difficult case to prove because all the evidence was pointing towards him. He was the last one that came in contact with her. His story, the Kakapool story, foolishness. And I mean, come on. They had eyewitness to say that they had some kind of physical altercation. All of this stuff was mounting evidence that he could not have answered. Like, you put her there, she hit herself. Why didn't you come back and check? Why didn't you call her? Just some basic common sense stuff that he was not able to understand. But at least that part of the system, you know, you got that. What further are the family looking for? What would you like to see in terms of sentencing?
You get the maximum that so that's one. What my family were looking for, and I haven't asked that question, or we haven't had that conversation. But me knowing my mother and father,
right?
Especially my mother, who's a very loving lady.
Yes,
as I stated earlier, this case wasn't a rocket science case. This case wasn't any difficult thing for the prosecutor. As you heard, his lawyer spoke there, and people who study psychology, you can tell that he knew for a fact that, listen, going into this is easy money. Sorry, if you're going to pay me anyways. This is an easy case because one, you're going to keep silent.
Yeah.
Two, you're not heeding my advice. This is a walk in the park.
Yes. It
remains back to the judicial system. This could have been over with. As he stated, and I will correct him, my mom is in her 50s, nearly 60, working construction. Right? My mom's a builder. Yeah, my dad's a mechanic. And they've worked their butts off over the years. And to sit 4 years, and they're going to be doing it, paying taxes, taking care of this guy in prison, yeah, and the judicial system is still failing them to wait so long before you can get a bit of comfort knowing that, okay, right, he's going to sit in there for the rest of his life. That is the torture.
Right.
That is torture on top of it. We cannot get my sister back.
Yes.
I do not celebrate my birthday anymore.
Yes.
Because on the day I was celebrating my birthday that year, my sister maybe was fighting for her life.
Yes.
I don't ever celebrate my birthday anymore. And
Wow.
to sit and wait for so long, that is the torture. So for me, it's not about, yes, he's guilty. That was too easy. It's let's just accept that.
Yes.
Let us not fail the women in our country anymore. That's the thing.
Yes.
Let us not fail the families in our country anymore. Let's look out for each other. This thing happens too easily. You see in Jamaica, endless violence against women and all those type of stuff. It's rubbish.
Yes. Yes. Listen, CJ, again, I want to send out my condolences to you and the family. I remember 4 years ago, which seems just like it was yesterday, I believe we had a conversation, a similar conversation. And after we found out that it was your sister and we spoke, I don't know if you remember, we spoke on the phone.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a story that never died in my heart, and in the hearts of a lot of people. We've been following it, and condolences to you and the family, because I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. It's man, listen, people is not even gonna understand the depth, the horror, that goes on. But condolences to you and the family, and we're gonna continue to follow the story and hope that we have a maximum sentence for Randy. Although that won't bring her back, at least it would sort of add some kind of closure. I don't know if it will, but I guess to what he did to her. I saw that your mom either was attempting to call or wanting to call. So if she want to do that, it's fine. She could call.
I'm not going to advise her to do that. Sorry.
No, I saw somebody say that in the chat. Someone said that in the chat. I don't know if she was trying to call or something like that. But now it's not necessary that she call, because I know she's going through a lot. So that's fine. But again, CJ, we'll keep in touch. All right. Condolences to you and the family.
No problem.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, guys, you heard the story that was presented by the attorney, Jerry Edwin. Of course, that was his side of the story. Of course, the jury panel didn't believe it. I don't think anybody believed it. I think the story was a joke. It was a laugh to even expect anyone would believe that Nancy story. But he's convicted. He's sentenced, not sentenced. He's convicted. He's found guilty. And we await now the sentencing, which, as the sentencing guideline states, he may get from anywhere from 35 years to life. And even then, it still doesn't add closure, by the way, because taxpayers paying for him to stay inside a day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of our program today. Thanks for sharing on behalf of all of our team here at Ride Along Live. To our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, to our moderators, we have Kibbs. Thank you so much. Deanne Fraser and Lynn Charles. Thank you guys so much for taking care of all that goes on in the chat room. For all our supporters, everyone that share, everyone that like, everyone that comment, everyone, we appreciate you, and thanks again. Remember, Ride Along Live is a platform where everyone have a story to tell. Yeah, everyone have a story to tell. We are an open platform to hear your stories, and we help out whenever and however we can. Like we're doing right now, there are a number of activities that we're working on to give back to the community, and we could only do that because of your support, right? So we encourage you guys to become a supporter of this platform. Donate wherever you can to this platform, because of your strength, it's because of your assistance, we're able to advance in the things that we're doing. We're able to give 100 ham for Christmas in Grenada. We're able to give packages and hampers and gifts and all these things back to Grenada. So when you support stuff like purchasing our items, purchasing stuff in our stores, let me show you guys this, because this is a great way that you could help out, right? So let me show you this, guys. we just added a bunch of new items in our Right By app store. So Right By is the official platform where you could get everything ride along related, right? Of course, you could get your bingo tickets, that whatever events we have in. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. All right, there we go. So whatever events we're having, the bingo or whatever, you could get it there, of course. Very easy to purchase. But we also have products, right? We also have products from our T-shirts to our sweaters to our brand of stuff. Like, for instance, this shirt right here, which is our Ride Along supporters t-shirt. Is Life is Amazing, Ride Along Life. This t-shirt only $35. You could support by going in there and purchasing one of these shirts, and it's very easy to purchase. Very, very, very simple. Just go in, click 2 clicks, and you're done. It's not difficult at all, guys. In fact, I'll show you how easy it is to buy any one of these shirts. Say you want to get one of these sweaters right now, and shipping is free in the US. You add it to your cart or you order now. You order now, and you just put in your information right there, and you process to pay, and you're done. Really, it's really simple. So I want you guys to download the Ride By app. That's Ride By. It's very simple app to manage or to navigate. Check it out right now and get all of our products and services, tickets, and everything that you need ride along related on our Ride By app. Next, we have in our bingo, we have in our brunch, we have in all these things. That's how you support us. That's how you support us so we could continue to support the community. We appreciate you guys. Good night.
The moringa leaf is the highest concentration of vitamins of any plant on the planet. So if you're looking to get all the vitamins your body needs, get moringa. Moringa, 4 times more vitamin A than carrots, 3 times more potassium than bananas, 4 times more calcium than milk, 25 times the iron of spinach, 9 times the protein of yogurt, and 7 times the vitamin C of oranges. Stuff is amazing. It's a superfood. So go to Healing
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Stop. Listen, don't move. I got some important information for you. Ride Along Live is moving to TikTok. And we want to take you along with us. I'm beginning to have some serious second thoughts about this. No, I'm not going to be dancing or nothing like that. You won't see that. But it's going to be excitement. It's going to be fun. And we're on TikTok.
Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
So click the link at the bottom and follow us on TikTok. It will be a TikToking experience. Follow us on TikTok and let's expand the platform together.
Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada. Shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook at Green Chicks Export or email us at greenchicksexport@gmail.com.